So the last 4 days have been filled with rain. It's been it's been incredible, right? It's literally rained for the last 4 days. Maybe not the entire day, right? We did get a little bit of sunshine on Sunday, but we've been trapped inside the house with a very energetic 3-year-old, and we've just been going crazy as parents. I wish you could have caught a picture of us the other day on the couch. It's my wife and I. We've got the second kid on the way. So she's sitting there, big belly and pregnant. I'm sitting there with a big food belly and feeling like I'm pregnant. And we're just sitting there defeated on the couch as our 3-year-old runs up and down the walls for like the 10th straight hour. And today was a beautiful spring day and about 80 degrees outside. And, after we got done with our Q&A session this morning, I did my little workout thing, uploaded the recording of it for our Tier 1 members. And then me and my kid went for an adventure. It was pretty cool. We went to the park, we played, we discovered, got some water ice and ice cream. And it was just all in all a great day. And it reminded me of really the topic of a previous podcast where I talked about not wanting fame, right? How that's something that I don't aspire to earn because it doesn't allow me to live my life on my own terms. It doesn't allow me to do stuff like this, just walk about like a normal person. And it also just puts more emphasis on my ultimate goal in life, which is earn freedom of time. A lot of people think financial freedom is key, and they do go hand in hand, don't get me wrong. The more free you are financially, the more time it opens up for you. So they're both important. But understand that you can also be financially free, but still working, 80 million hours a week and not being able to take advantage of it. And that's, it's hard to find that balance because if you're a workaholic like me, right, you want to maximize your time for your business, right, and maximize your profits, of course. But you also want to have time to reap the benefits, right? And I mentioned this in I don't know if it was a previous podcast or a live room episode, but one of my biggest flaws is that I don't allow myself to celebrate victories. And that is a negative, meaning I'm so focused. I'm so super focused on the future, on the next, right? And in a way that helps me succeed at business. It helps me succeed in the market where all we're doing is making the next prediction. I don't often get to enjoy life. So little days like this are a blessing for me when I can just kind of close the charts up. My positions were on, making money, by the way, right? We made some money this morning, which is why I was able to get away from the charts and not actively watch anything. But just enjoy time, enjoy life for what it is. Now, it wasn't always like this. And this is where we get off on today's topic. Today's topic comes from a YouTube viewer, right? So I appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. I appreciate you guys leaving feedback. And again, every time you leave a comment, you never know when it can become an episode. And the question was, said, Akil, nice information. You're awesome. How do you deal with doubt and the possibility of failure as it pertains to trading? And I guess how it applies to life as well. And my initial answer was this, right? Failure is not an option, right? That is the first answer that comes to my head. Failure is not an option. That's my rah-rah football mindset. Tell myself whatever I need to tell myself to succeed. And I honestly think that. But because I consider you guys part of my inner circle, right? You guys are getting to know me at a deeper level, right? We've been doing the podcast for 2 months right now, at least at the recording of this. And you guys have found out a lot about me that you haven't necessarily found out before, right? This is stuff that traders in the live room, they know, traders that I work with on a daily basis know, but your typical YouTube trader or person that just follows me on social media, you may not notice about me. Although failure is not an option, I think it's going to be naive for me to say that I've never thought about failing. I've never considered the thought. I've never had my doubts because I've had lots of doubts, guys. And just like you guys, I've had doubts in almost everything I do, whether it was getting into investing in the first place, whether it was buying my first property, right? It took me about a year to buy my first property. It was on the market and ready, and it was a good deal for about a year. And I just scared myself out of it for the longest time. And it actually took my mentor, may he rest in peace, to kind of literally kick me in the butt. Literally, he kicked me in the butt to buy the property. But I do have this doubt. The difference is I've become very good at telling myself what I need to tell myself. I'm a very good self-motivator. And none of my track athletes or former track athletes are probably listening to this, but I do the same thing with sports, right? Again, former football player, I played lots of sports, but football is kind of the most gladiator of it. To go out on the football field and to put yourself in a position where you're basically beating your body to shreds, you have to be a little bit crazy, right? I don't think any sane person straps on a helmet and goes out there, right? Talking about American football, right? So football kind of helped me with the process of convincing myself, telling myself whatever I need to tell myself to get myself out there. And I took that to track. I take that with my coaching now in track and field, where, I create motivating things to help get you a little bit crazy to go out there. And I do the same thing when it comes to business, when it comes to taking that leap of faith, because again, it is difficult, right? If anyone tells you it's easy, just do it, they're lying. It's natural to be scared. It's natural to be worried. We're doing something that we've never done before, right? It is out of our comfort zone. We are trying to achieve a future where we have no idea what the future is going to be, right? Doing something completely different is scary because we do not know the outcome. Therefore, on one hand, it could be very, very, very good. On the other hand, it could be very, very, very bad. And when you take the leap of faith into trading, it's a little bit more difficult because trading, like many other skills, it has a very long learning curve. I know people out there are going to try and convince you that you can be a super trader in 90 days, right? I saw some ad pop up the other day about win 90% of your trades and 90% return on investment in 90 days or your money back. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be something in the small writing at the end that allows you not to get your money back, because 90% of the traders that take it are going to fail. But it takes a long time to be successful in trading. And you can imagine during that long period of time, there's going to be all types of doubts and all types of fear that seeps into you. So what motivates me the most, and what has always motivated me, is the thought of failure. Right? I am a competitor. I don't like to lose. I understand you can't win every game, but bigger picture, I want to win. And for me, the biggest picture out there is life, right? I want to win at life. And how do you define a win at life? I still don't quite know, but a win at life is essentially setting up my family, my future family, right? So my kids and whatnot, setting them up for a life that is better than mine. I think that should be the goal, right? My grandfather worked hard so my dad could have a better life than he did, right? My grandfather worked in the factories. He was in the war. He did all this, the stuff he did back in the day to create a better life for my dad and his brothers and sisters. My dad works extremely hard, or has worked extremely hard to create a better life for me. And that's something I didn't start noticing until I became a father myself, how much you do sacrifice. And my goal and my wife's goal was to set up a better life for our kids, soon to be kids, and their future kids. And I think that is a win. And the thing that scares me the most is failure, not achieving that, right? That is the scariest thing, losing at life. And what I do is, because I'm so scared of failure, right? It becomes my biggest motivator. I am so scared to fail that I do not allow myself to do it. It's that simple. When I first got into trading, right? If you haven't heard the story, I quit all my jobs. Not when I first got in again. All my stories say I first got in. All right. After I struggled with trading for about a year, Forex trading, I made the switch from stocks to Forex, struggled for about a year. And one day I decided to quit all my jobs. And I planned it out. I made sure I had enough money saved away to survive. I made sure to give the 3-week notice, whatever, to the jobs I was working at. But I knew that the only way to be successful was to put myself in a position where I had to succeed. Up until that point, I was trading. I was making about $30,000 between the three jobs that I was working, and life was good. $30,000 to a swinging bachelor, living in a duplex with one half rented out and another half rented out to three more of his roommates. Right, I'm living fine, comfortably, more money than I ever had. But that wasn't going to be enough for the future to create a family and create a better life for my family. So after failing at Forex for so long, just because I was comfortable with it, because if I failed at it, there was really no downside. I would just fund another account and start over. I quit my jobs. And by doing that, I put myself in a position where either trading was going to work or I was going to fail at life. And the fear of me failing at life, not becoming a success, is what fueled me through all of those difficult times of backtesting, all of those difficult times of going through drawdowns, of giving up on your system, of being alone and scared and feeling like the world is against you, through having my basically my trading account taken away from a scammy broker, right? From losing $30,000 in basically a week's worth of time while managing money, right? All of that I was able to push past because the pain of failing outweighed the pain of all of those other circumstances. So I think it's important to know that it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have doubts. It's normal. The thing is, we need to have some type of motivating factor behind us to push through, right? We only lose when we give in, right? We only fail when we give up. So although you're going through a process where you're going to take many steps backwards, and those steps backwards are going to feel like you failed, you haven't really failed. Failure is a mindset. Failure is when you decide that I'm not going to go for it anymore. Because guess what? Even if you blow an account, you haven't failed. It may be a step back, but you can always fund another one. You can always continue to learn. You can always get educated. You can always demo trade. You can always take steps in the right position to set yourself up for future success, even if you don't have any money in your account. You've only failed when you have given up on yourself. And that's scary. At least it should be scary.